And welcome back to week 17 of the great Pendragon campaign. I'm Arthur Perkins. I know that Kai's tag still says Colleen. Yes, he's dead, but we didn't figure out what Kai's name was until just a few minutes ago. Apparently, it's French for likely to die, which means that Kai has finally come full circle in ironically naming things. Which means he is now in a category of his own. Alright. I watched Roker of the Six Braves today, as is my traditional Saturday afternoon activity. And you know what?
Don't spoil it.
You know what? Season finale, the first 10 minutes were amazing. I lost my shit. I was like, oh, thank God, the mystery is finally solved. I'm so glad to know who that person was. Notice I'm not using any gender pronouns at all. and then if I had just stopped there, if I had just stopped when the cow shows up, I would have been like, damn, this is one of the best animes I've ever seen. The animation is top notch. Yes, the demon CGI is fucking crap. It's awful. The storyline is great. The artwork is great. The setting is great. Last 10 minutes of the season finale, I was like, fuck, I hate watching the show. It literally just ruined. They tried to Kaiser Soze it. They tried to be like, and now we're going to reveal something incredible. And you're like, oh, no. No, it's not incredible. It's just stupid. Stupid. So for you out there, all you Kroamas out there that haven't watched it yet, when you see the cow, turn the show off. You have reached the end. Nothing happens after that point. Nothing. The show's over. It's 10 minutes of exit credits. You don't need to watch that. Trust me. That's my day. I'm so mad. This seriously would have been an A+ series, and now I'm literally giving it a C. Letter grade, dropping like a rock. All right, Kroama, how was your day today? Did you watch episode 11 of Roka?
Not yet. Or 11? You mean last week's?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah. First, I wasn't sure what you were talking about because I only watch it after this stream, but
oh yeah,
that's good.
Don't listen, man. Get to the cow. Stop watching.
I can't stop at the cow.
No, you can. You have to stop. Listen, I swear, if you don't stop at the cow, you're gonna come to me next week and you're gonna be like, "I'm sorry, Arthur. I should have fucking listened."
We'll see what I say next week.
Oh shit. Fine. Well, how was the rest of your day before you ruin your life?
Like I said, not much is happening. The state fair, which happens in the town I live in, is happening right now. I don't really go to it, but I do get fudge from it, so
excellent.
That's good.
I assume you also get cotton candy and ride the carousel.
No, I don't really go that often. I usually get a friend to just bring me back some food.
Ah. You don't ride the potato sacks down the whooshy thingy?
I used to.
I'm so sorry. Alright, Kai, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty well. Nothing. Just nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Wow. This is a bad intro. I'll tell you what, though, it sounds like it's going to be short. We set the record last week. We had a 50-minute long intro on one of the shows. Alright, Erik, what's going on with you? You have 47 minutes to fill.
Well, pretty good. I just watched the first episode of the new Doctor Who season before I logged on. So that was... I'll be interested to see how part 2 of it is, because they split it up into a 2-parter, so... Anyways, kind of happy that's back.
Doctor Who. I messed with some people the other day, man. I was running a dungeon roll campaign where I was using a lot of references to things like there was an emperor whose name was Julius Caesar, and there was a guard captain named Macbeth, and so there was all these Shakespearean references. And then I was like, the next country over is run by a man who insists on only being called the Doctor. And everyone was like, oh man, we're going to Doctor Who land next. It's so cool, Arthur. And then I was like, you meet with the Inquisitor of the land. His name is Cat in the Hat. Welcome to Seuss Land, bitch. He's the Doctor. Yeah, I faked him out because I hate Doctor Who. And I love crushing people's hopes and dreams. Alright, that's my anti-Doctor Who rant. How is the new season? You said the first episode's kind of good?
Decent. I mean, we'll see where it goes, because it's a two-parter, and only seen the first half now. So.
What number is the Doctor up to now?
12?
Doesn't he only have like 13 lives?
Yeah. Actually, I think he might technically be 13. Because they added one in through a special.
Excellent. But don't worry, he can just be like the Master and reset his number or some bullshit.
I'm sure
just
that
remember,
will
there's
happen.
like 100 years of broadcasting behind it, so... I tried to read a Doctor Who wiki once, and I was like, holy fuck. I cannot believe
that canon just is...
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright. That's enough of my slamming on Doctor Who. People love it. I can't figure out why. They love it so much.
I like Doctor Who, but I don't like go crazy. It's just another show that I like to watch because it's neat.
Yeah.
I don't go crazy over it.
I'm probably in that camp.
Alright. So, we shall pick up approximately where we left off with the party of the defaults, the fallen Sieve, who apparently Aidwald got a critical first aid and basically brought him back to life. So that was crazy. He did that right before the show started. Of course, he did it off camera, but I'm going to let it stand. I'm going to let it stand. I'm going to let it stand. It's not following proper procedure, but sure. I'm having a weird day today. I'm so mad about Roka. You have no idea. If you had seen my face for the last 10 minutes, you could have seen the pieces of my heart breaking into tiny little shards of glass. So fucking mad. Alright. You find your way back along the bridge to some terrain south of London, where you are met with, surprisingly, a number of British mercenaries, including knights from other lands, such as Silchester and Marlborough, and some from Ridichan. And there's actually hundreds of them there. And one of the leaders steps out in front and says, "Hail! Who is it that passes through here?"
I am Aidwald, a knight of Salisbury, leader of this band.
So he looks you over and says, "Aidwald, huh? Knight of Salisbury. Are you sure you are not a knight of Kent, sir?" he says, making a failed heraldry roll.
Aye.
And so he turns to some of the other men, and they're like, "I've never heard of him."
You never heard of Aidwald? He's kind of famous in both good and bad ways. Have you heard of what was your father's name? Or what was your uncle's name?
My brother's name was Aurelius.
Aurelius. What about Aurelius?
Ah, yep, heard of that guy. Yep.
Aidwald's his brother.
Ah, yeah. Yep, that sounds that could be true. Could be true. And the main knight turns back and says, "I am Baron Baun of Hampshire. What is your purpose here, Aidwald of Salisbury?"
We have held the bridge at Southwark on King Ael's orders, and we were returning to London following that.
Oh, that's good. Right proper? Right proper. Excellent. I believe I'm supposed to give you these, then. And he kind of, like, prefers out a sealed, like, heavy leather satchel that's got, like, a wax seal on it. And I was told to hand this to any British knights retreating this way. I suspect that's probably you, yes? You should know that there's been some changes in London while you were gone. King Ale made a forced march south after it turns out the Jutes landed at Malden, took the city. Ale is heading south into the Perdue Forest. Now, if what you've told us is true and you've drawn some of the Saxons to Southwark, they'll be able to hit them from behind while we hit them from the north. That'd be a good battle. Don't suppose you'd like to join us?
I wish I could. I believe I'll have to sit this one out.
Are you sure? Ale's paying double rate for British mercenaries. Once knight's on his side to face his Saxon brothers.
I
would enjoy the opportunity to pay back some of those bastards who got us on the bridge.
I'm just saying I
What
cannot
say you,
join.
Suzmarur?
I believe the pay would be worth it. It might be a little dangerous, but double pay is always good.
Do you possibly have a non-fighting battle helping position?
So he's like,
Okay.
he looks you over and tries to do a recognize roll on you to see if you outrank him. And
No.
being a baron, he's immediately aware that you don't. So he says, Sir Siv, though you are a glorious knight, Siv, though you are a glorious knight, you hardly rank high enough to command the battle yourself. However, it is said that your family was great at commanding battles. I will say that. I have heard that your cousin?
My uncle's Hirstute Sasha is that
Sir
is the
Sasha,
one
yes.
who failed
He fell
miserably.
during... No, I heard that he died during a great battle.
He did, but it was not great on our half. And it
I
was,
had heard that some upstart took command of the battle and completely ruined Sir Sasha's amazing plans. Sasha laid out a masterwork strategy, and after his death, everything completely fell apart.
not to speak ill of my uncle, but it was hardly anything of that sort.
Were you there then?
I've studied the battle, behind just the rumors that people tell.
Hmm. Well, I've heard my side of the story from the Saxons, so... perhaps time will tell. He's like, well, I was going to offer you a position on my staff as a battle advisor, but if it's in your blood to horribly fail and destroy your own forces...
It was my uncle's fate not knowing battle. Since then, I've been studying up a lot more on defeats than victories, and learning things that
just
cause
like-
those defeats.
Nothing you say so far emboldens me towards... You dig
Encourage
your own
you.
grave, sir, as they say.
Yeah. Oh, I know nothing. I probably tell him something
Oh,
like,
God.
what would I tell him?
Yeah, you just convinced him that you know zero about battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, you
probably-
know nothing. Yeah, I think it perhaps would be best if you sat this one out.
I think almost dying has caused me to go crazy. Probably tell him how a battle was lost, and then that's why we should do it again.
No, you mix it up. You mix up why a battle was lost and why it was won, and then you recommend the famous losing strategy.
So remember, you should always abandon your battlements to ride out into the field to engage superior numbers and split your forces as many times as possible. Don't worry, you can definitely outflank Horus while on foot. Yeah, so he's just like, perhaps you should take the time to rest, Sir Siv. Div. We have a tent with some cold drinks and warm food.
I'll take you up on that.
Oh, now might be a good time to get have a surgeon see to his wounds.
So he's like, might be expensive. Well, I freely offer you my hospitality and aid. I'm afraid I didn't bring any surgeons myself. This is a mercenary company, after all. We brought only knights.
Very well.
While we have hundreds of men, we have no doctors.
We will have... He can rest here for now, and there will be plenty in London.
If the wound is dire, we could have one of the squires or pages perform it. I think there might be a boy.
How dire is a wound that's major?
You can't heal until the chirurgery's done.
So it's not. I don't think it's dire then. If
Yeah.
it's just me not recovering.
Yeah. It sounds like
just
you will
rest.
be fine resting during the battle and then just being transported back to London. And I would definitely trust
I am fine
the
with
doctor
this.
we could find there far more.
So, Baron Bon of Hampshire looks you over and says, "You men brought horses, yes?
Yes.
That puts you sight above many of the other Saxons here, or many of the other knights here. Would you ride in the van with me? We'll leave this afternoon."
Certainly. I'll be happy to join you.
Yeah, so afternoon rolls around, and there's a lot of shouting in the camp. You hear someone ringing a bell, and then lots of bells are being rung, and people are like armoring. People were already getting ready, but when this bell started ringing, everyone gets ready faster. And a lot of people look very confused.
I'd assume we'd still be in armor. If not, then we armor quickly and get on our horses.
So, Baron Bon of Hampshire says, Aidwald. What is, Sus Monor? Susmurur. Can I call you Sus?
Yes. Sir Seuss.
Sir Sus.
Relative of a famous doctor.
Yeah. I don't know the Susmurur. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sus for now until I figure it out. Sir Sus, there was a wyvern spotting in the North Downs. My men are divided as to whether to ride against the Saxons or to slay this beast. Its scales can be used for many alchemical purposes. Could be quite a fortune. But more importantly, much glory in slaying a wyvern. I care little for whether it does anything to the nearby Saxon lands, but the temptation. And you see many of his men are like, yes, a wyvern. What are your thoughts, sir?
I have a proposal, Baron Bond. It seems as if I'm sure you already have a commission and have committed yourself to the battle against the Saxons. But we, at the moment, have none. We have been released our duties and are free for now. Perhaps we shall take on the Vern and make sure it does not descend on your baggage train while you will be free.
So he looks at
Or if you wish to send knights with us, and that way you can still meet your obligation.
If, as you say, we should continue along with our obligation, I can send no knights with you. But truly you would take it with only 2 men? You must be brave knights indeed.
I need to look up in the stats exactly how dangerous a Vern is.
Nope. You can roll Fairy Lore to see if you know how dangerous a wyvern is. You don't get to just be like, let me, how many hit points does it have again? Nope. Don't metagame this, bro. Don't metagame this.
Alright. A Vern is like a variety of dragon, right?
Yes.
So, highly, highly deadly. 2 people, we're probably screwed. is what.
Probably
this
why
game
you
is
stopped to warn you, like, that's very brave of you.
In that case, it'll still be there when we get back.
Aye, that's a good point. Perhaps we can lead the entire contingent of men against it. Surely one wyvern cannot stand against 600 men. Aha! And everyone's like, that sounds about right, yeah. So...
It's correct.
Something I know that you don't know that makes it all that much funnier.
Probably that they could kill that many.
I said wyverns hunt in packs.
Oof. Well, in that case, leaving it for itself is even better plan.
I didn't think I'd be able to trick you into doing something that incredibly dumb, but... Okay, yeah, you ride south across the bridge to Southworks, and you come upon the rear formation of those Saxons you were on before. They're currently, like, you see them at the edge of the forest that you were fighting near before, and they're, like, being pushed out by a number of other Saxon groups. And they have different colors on their shields, and they wear different equipment.
Mm-hmm.
They're using primarily spears instead of axes as well, the Aelish Saxons. So it's fairly easy to tell which side's which. And, yeah, the Kentish Jute Saxons have been forced, like, into the open. So they call for a lance charge. Baron Baun of Hampshire calls for a lance charge if you wish to escort him into this battle.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's roll.
All right. Adewald again wants to invoke his honor passion. These are the same people who just insulted him, and he's now coming back to avenge himself.
Are you coming back to avenge yourself? It sounds like you took this job for money.
A combination.
I'll accept that for now, but you can't use honor as a bludgeon to knock down every nail here.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
But
I'll accept that. Sir Seuss, will you insanely declare some passion as well?
No.
Okay. All right.
You've been trying to dissuade me from doing it.
Oh, I've been trying to dissuade everybody from doing it. They roll to hit, so I should actually assemble the fighting area. So let's see here. Got these two versus these two. And the one attacking Adewall misses, and the one attacking Zeus hits. If you gentlemen would like to roll your lance and or whatever weapon you're using.
what am I facing?
You're facing a mounted Saxon warrior whose turn to kind of like blunt the incoming charge.
Okay.
Okay, Zeus, you will hit. You will both hit.
All right.
So armor of 6 plus shield is 12, so he's going to take 11 points of damage.
And then just remember to add 2 to whatever that damage roll is. My thing had an error, so I had to reload.
He rolls horsemanship. Okay. So your damage is 28. He failed, so he only has an armor of 6, so you deal enough to knock him unconscious.
Alright.
And the one you are facing, Zeus, is not from his horse. What would you like to do?
Horse cannot is ransomable, right? So could I make a square roll?
Sure.
I'm just going to tell mine to surrender. Wait for him to get up.
Okay, he starts standing up, and he's like, "What are the terms?"
All right, so my squire is 16, so...
You will
Right.
become my prisoner, or we will fight again.
So he kind of looks around, like looking at all like. So to be clear, there's like Saxons flowing out of the woods to attack the other Saxons, and now there's a charging line of British knights that have like sailed past him and are hitting the people from behind, and he's just like, well, let me roll my traits here and see. He's like, yep, that sounds like a good idea.
Wait, that worked?
Yeah. Yeah, his passion or his trait roll is very small, but it was within the margin of his cowardly. He's just like, yep, I'm done. I'm done.
That's never worked before. Telling them to surrender never worked.
Well, it should be noted, you guys have like a 10-to-1 advantage against these guys.
Yeah. Well, I just had my squire, then just like capture him then.
Alright, I think there was a... What was the amount that you get paid for capturing people?
We can figure it out at the end, when we get to the winter phase, probably.
Well, let's see here. You both get a certain amount of glory.